As you could expect, I've not stopped thinking about it. So every time I see a fucking news article or just video on this, it just gets to me. I think the time for playing with words is done. You need to start showing what actually happens. I've always said since I found out about this that we should free Palestine. If I haven't said it publicly, I say it to myself a lot. It's obviously so horrific what's going on over there. And if you'd seen the same imagery, if you're the one criticising it, you see the same imagery, you wouldn't be saying the same thing, I can guarantee you of that. And really what needs to happen now, rather than showing words and shouting them, you need to start showing what actually happens, what the genocide is actually doing. Show the dead, starving children, show the women obviously being killed, show the war crimes. Like, there is so much going on there that can be shown and needs to be shown. And we should be showing that instead of, well, words, like people print up words on some boards and wear t-shirts. You stop printing actual imagery of this horrific shit. And it's traumatising, yeah. But if you're traumatised by it, then surely your reaction would be to help them, not to force them into that. And I don't think there's any greater amount of shame as being on the wrong side of history. Like, honestly, it's not just embarrassing, it's just shameful. And, you know, what's weird is the far right typically care about their image, and they make it out that protecting their image is the most important thing in the world. But your image is completely tarnished by the selfishness and hatred. And when I see world leaders failing to act on this, and myself having a lot of regret for not actually going into this sooner, I feel a lot of shame myself. So I wasn't really into this like a few months ago. I wasn't into politics, I wasn't into the Gaza stuff or even the Ukraine-Russia war. The most I ever did was like a few Google searches and that was it. I didn't really speak out, I didn't really pay much attention. You know how I've realised it's so much more of an issue now than it ever was. And given that they're attacking people we know, it goes to show there's just endless amounts of corruption and greed. And all this for a bit of fucking money. Now, everyone who's been contributing towards the Israeli arms needs to be forced to sit through the hours and hours of footage of what they've done. And the heartless ones will appear out there. That'll be obvious. The ones who do it for something should be breaking down and crying. Should be expressing regret. And they should change the course of action, hopefully. But this is sort of why I hate the education system as it is now. You can teach people things in words, in writing, but at the end of the day that doesn't compare to the actual videotaped evidence. You know, seeing a headline like 20,000 children killed in Gaza, it's a lot either way, and it still terrifies you, especially if you're sympathetic and empathetic for the matter, are both really important. But then you see the actual footage and you realise it's so much more horrific. And it's almost a case that, unfortunately, killings are a mercy. That's how bad this has gotten. And then the children who suffer are those that are starving, begging for their lives, begging for their parents to come back alive. They've just watched being killed. like this is hell. And I'll say this again, if you can't put government officials in that situation, then why the hell are they letting it happen? Like, they're complicit in it. So if they can't stand there and take the assaults that Israel are doing alongside all of these innocent people, then there's something very wrong here. And it sort of reminds me of, again, this thing that I sort of come back to in like medieval times. There's a lot of horrific shit back then. And one of the things that does stand out is that a leader will stand with their people, if they're a good leader anyway. The cowardly ones will sit back and watch whatever happens. But the leaders will actually help people and actually participate in wars and defend their own country, their own people. That's why I think it's so cowardly. Yeah, that's all I can say. This is just hell. I really don't wish any of this crap on anyone that's happening in Gaza. Thanks for listening. See you one another time.